Hello everyone. Today we are going to be making a fall or autumn picture using masking tape resist and paint, brown trees, and finally we will be adding on some colored tissue paper. Today we're going to start off with a brown piece of paper. You're going to choose either a dark brown or a light brown. I'm going to choose the light brown just so you can see my lines a little bit better today. For the first day of this project, we are going to be starting off, obviously we have to write our name on it, so I'll put my name on it. I'll just put Mrs. H. And turn it over. Make sure you write your class code also. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a horizon line. Now you can draw it higher. I wouldn't draw it too high because then you won't have much of a sky. I think I would like to draw it kind of sort of in the middle. You are going to need some room to place your trees, and you're also going to need some room. Can you see that line? I don't want to draw it with a marker because when I pick up the tape I don't want to have to see that line. Can you see it? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. But it's the line, the horizon line is the line that separates the sky from the earth, the ground. Now we're going to be adding tape for the trees. We're going to paint over it, and then we are going to take the tape off to reveal the brown trees, and then we'll be able to add detail to it. Obviously we're not doing all that in one day. For the first day, here's what my expectations are. I'm expecting everyone to be able to successfully tear tape to make the trees and tape the trees down. So tearing tape consists of pulling it off, putting your two fingers together. You can't just pull, you can't twist. You want to twist a little bit and you just pull. You're going to have different sized trees. You definitely don't want all of your trees to be the same thickness. The reason why is because when we talk about something called perspective, which means the way you see things, the trees will not all be in the same place. In other words, the closer they are to the front, the bigger they're going to be. So I might choose, I'm going to say this is about a middle-sized tree. I'm going to put that right there. And this also looks like a middle-sized tree. And I'm also going to think about which side is wider. So usually when you rip the tape in half that way, it's going to rip unevenly with one side higher. If you do it like that, it's going to look kind of strange. You kind of want to have a little bit of a trunk. So I'm going to put it like that. The next thing you might want to do is you want to keep on adding more trees. Now I'm going to add a tiny tree. Now the further you go to the back, the smaller the trees are going to be. So this is going to be a super little, that one's a little bit smaller, you can tell, and it's back there. The reason why we are ripping and not using scissors is because it creates a natural edge. Trees are definitely natural, and how about if I start off making a big one here? Now that one does not look too big yet, but I'm going to make it bigger by layering one tape on top of another. You don't want to press it down too firmly. That's the other thing I need to tell you, because if you press it down too firmly, it's going to be harder to rip up. So this one is down towards the bottom, and that one definitely is looking bigger. Then I have this kind of piece. It could look like a tree itself. What if I put this one down itself? All right, so that one's a little bit bigger than that one, a little bit wider, and it's a little bit taller too. But we're not worried about the tallness because we're going to be adding, obviously, branches. They don't look very much like trees right now. And I'm going to talk to you about how trees look like trees. You're going to peel off some skinny pieces like that. And again, the skinnier points, they're all always going to point towards the sky. So you want to kind of keep these skinny, the wider end over here, skinnier end over here, and you want to always point it towards the sky. So I'm going to add one there, one there. I'm going to add, keep on ripping. You want to tape like much skinnier than the tree is the rule of thumb. So if I have one that's a little bit bigger, you might want to attach it to that tree there. Now you don't want to just have every branch sticking out from the tree. You can have a branch off of a branch too. So I can make even a smaller one and put it like that. All right, so then it's starting to look a little bit like a tree. They all will end up looking like a tree, hopefully, and you want to kind of angle them so they're all pointing up. None of them really point down unless it's a broken branch, and of course you are absolutely welcome to do broken branches. I kind of like my trees standing up. They don't all have to be standing up straight away. Some of them could be falling down a little bit if you want, or they could be not exactly straight. Maybe it's on a little bit of an angle. You don't want it too much of an angle there because they should be live trees. I like live trees better than dead trees. Imagine that. There we go. And then here's a little bit wider of a branch. Now when you think about which one's bigger, you don't want to think about the how long it is, because you can always rip that down and make it smaller. You want to think about how wide it is. So I'm talking about the width, the overall width. So that's the widest on the bottom. The middle should be about half, and then the top should maybe be a third or a quarter of the size of the original width of the tape. You are going to use a significant amount of tape for this project, which is fine. Now those ends, I'm not really happy with those ends. They're not really pointy, so you can even add on, and it will also make it look like it is. It's go off the edge. That's okay. And you can definitely make it go off the edge too. That's totally fine too. Oops, little piece. And don't forget that little pieces are definitely can be of use, because look at that. Look how cute that looks. All right. And then I'm going to put this one over here. Now that one looks like it's cut off because it's got a big wide end at the end. So what I can do about that is I can pull another piece off and attach it to that, and you can bend it up and you can bend it over, and you're going to keep on adding onto your trees. Branch off of a branch, remember they all have to point up. The skinniest part has to always point towards the sky, so you have to kind of make a decision about which one, and if it's all the same then it doesn't really matter. So that one's going to go like that, and I'm going to keep on adding on until my trees look like they are ready to go. I definitely would want to add on more branches than what I'm going to do in this demonstration, but I do want you to have time to work on it. So I may be ending this early, but hopefully you're getting the idea that you're going to be adding on. And there isn't a number of trees you need to add on, but you should have more than just 2 or 3 trees, I would think. We're doing like a forest, a fall-autumn forest. And in the end, if you do it really well, obviously this one's a little bit bigger than the paper I'm giving you, so it should be a little bit easier to fill for you, that it will look something like this at the end. If you can see, I used a marker on my horizon line over here, and you can still see it, which is a little unfortunate, so that's why I drew it in pencil. We can erase that, and we can definitely add marks. You can use black, you can use brown. I'll show you when we get to that point also. Have a great day, and enjoy.